Good morning, everyone. So today we have Miss Arushi Madan, the Regional Manager of South Asia Future Students UWA. So thank you so much for coming, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me here.
So is it your first time here in Nepal?
It is indeed my first time here and it's very exciting.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. I hope the traffic wasn't too troublesome while coming here.
We have more traffic in Delhi, so I'm used to it.
Okay. Right. So without further ado, let's get to our questions. So we have prepared a few questions that are very student-centric, and we are confident that your answers will be helpful to them. So let's get started, shall we?
Yep.
So when it comes to education, so here in Nepal, and I'm guessing in India as well, right? We have teachers who are very into rote learning, and they are, they want very disciplined kind of students. So how is it different in Australia? And if it's drastically different, do you think it will be a challenge for students to adjust there?
I don't think that the students will face a lot of issues in adjusting. Not that it's very similar, right?
Yeah.
Discipline is something that's required everywhere.
Everywhere,
not
right.
Just here, not just in South Asia, but all parts of the world. And it's just a part of your life.
Right.
When it comes to rote learning, that's definitely not practiced in Australia. You really need to know what you're going to study. You just cannot memorize everything, right?
True.
And there is a very, very big issue around plagiarism, which is something that the South Asian students have a hard time adjusting because we've been brought up, copying all our friends' assignments.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing that a lot of students have issues adjusting. A student always enjoys the flexibility around their lectures. There are classes held probably maybe only 3 to 4 days a week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's not an 8 to 2 or 8 to 5 schedule with packed back-to-back classes. And you can always pick and choose which lecture you want to attend, and you can always be very, freely communicative with your professor as well in that regard, which one you want to attend, which you cannot attend due to any reasons. So there's always pros and cons.
Right. So students, keep that in mind. No plagiarism if you're applying for UWA, right? Okay. So other than that, what other factors make UWA a good choice for Nepalese students specifically?
Again, coming back to the rote learning bit, opposite to that, a lot of practical experience is inculcated in our degrees. More than 70% of our degrees have inbuilt internships in them.
Wow.
And as mentioned, students do not have classes every day of the week. So they do have some time for their self-studies, assignments, and even part-time jobs.
Right.
So if the student wants to do a part-time job, they can do that. If they don't want to do a part-time job, they can also do an internship, which will ultimately build on their CV. Students in South Asia don't normally get that much time to build their CV while the degree is going on. So that is something that sets us apart.
That's really great to hear. And okay, so moving on from UWA, let's talk about Perth. So Perth being a regional area, how do you think that gives it an edge over others when it comes to post-study work rights? So could you explain on that a bit?
I think everyone knows about the post-study work visa, in regional areas such as Perth. You get an extended post-study work visa for an extra year, and that definitely adds on to the entire duration of when you're there. Apart from that, Perth, being a regional area, is the cheapest city of Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Okay. So students end up saving a lot more money unless they have a lifestyle of shopping a lot, partying a lot.
Yeah, that needs to be avoided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would survive.
True.
But anyway, the public transport is free for everyone to use.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So not just students?
Not just students, everyone.
Okay.
There's a small section of the public transport which is paid, and that's also on a 40% discount.
Nice. Students. Okay.
Plus, the job opportunities are just growing in number. There's no decline in the jobs either, both part-time and full-time. So the students will definitely have that surety that, something or the other will definitely work out for them when they're in Perth. And it will definitely be a very high-paying job because students who are in Perth, they also enjoy higher salaries than students living anywhere else in Australia. So it's a good place to be at when you want that fast-paced lifestyle as well, and when you also want that peace of mind.
Okay. So best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Okay. So that's definitely a plus, especially for someone from, a place like Kathmandu, I think, where you get that city's hustle and bustle as well, as long as a along with that old world charm, you
That's
know?
exactly how Perth would be described as.
Okay. So I think that's great. What are the living conditions like? How safe is it for international students?
It is the safest city
Oh,
of
okay.
Australia.
That's great. That's great. Now coming back to UWA, let's focus on the university, right? So what are the eligibility requirements for international students at UWA?
Every course will have a different eligibility requirement. There's no one set standard for all the courses. For the STEM courses, we would need the students to usually come in from a related background.
Definitely.
And business school is something that accepts people from all walks of life, as long as they are able to justify their motivation behind going for that course.
Nice.
And obviously, we would always want students with high achieving scores to come in. Most of our courses have an IELTS requirement of 6.5 overall, no less than 6.
Note that down, students.
But if the student is going for a quota-based course, or if they are going for a course that will ultimately give them a license to practice, the IELTS requirements are going to be way higher, which could be anything around 7 overall, or maybe 7.5 overall as well.
All right. According to you, what are the top 5 courses in UWA then currently?
Top 5 courses would be a Masters of Agriculture Science, a Master of Business Analytics, a Master of Engineering, Professional Engineering, and Master of Applied Finance. Yes, and Psychology is also coming up.
Yeah. So this is in terms of popularity or?
In popularity and also in terms of rankings.
Okay, that's great. And like if we can get like a rough idea of the tuition when it comes to like just these particular courses?
So again, I would say most of our courses fall under the bracket of 45 to 48 or 49,000 Australian dollars per annum. The fee, of course, is different for different courses per annum. But that would be the bracket that the students can consider.
Right. Okay, and speaking of the fees, then we can, get to funding. So are there any funding options, scholarships?
We do offer up to 12,000 Australian dollars scholarship per annum. And they depend on the student's merit.
Yeah, definitely. So you got to be good if you want the scholarship. Okay, other than that, do we have any other resources, any like student clubs that can, help?
Plenty of them. We have 150 plus clubs and societies on the campus.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So the student can really pick up anything that they want to go for. If they and if there's something they don't enjoy, or if they, they don't find anything as per their liking, they can create their own club.
Oh,
They can be the president of their own club. Can you imagine there's a club called Taylor Swift Appreciation Club?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and is there anything like specific for Nepalese students, and if not them, like
every nationality has their own club as well.
Nice.
And for South Asia in general, there's something called a Desi Society, and that Desi Society is a part of every university. So they all, get together and celebrate festivals like Diwali, festivals like the New Year, the Holi, everything together.
Right. Oh, that's great. On that similar note, like Nepalese students most of them come from very close-knit families, and we really want that feeling of, family, community. So what's the, the situation of Nepalese students like in UW? Like how many are there? Any rough figure? And are there any?
We actually do not have the exact figures or even the rough figures for different nationalities. But I would say Indians are one of the top ones.
Right.
Followed by Sri Lankans and Bangladeshis when we talk about the South Asian community.
Right.
And then Nepalese. And the number for all of these nationalities is only going up. And there we see a lot more Nepalese students now on the campus than we would see a few years ago.
Okay. So I am guessing they won't be feeling lonely out there.
Not at all.
Very at home atmosphere.
Not at all lonely.
Okay, now coming to our lifestyle and food habits. So we Nepalese people, we love rice. Rice is life for us. And like even when we go to a new place, for the first few days, we'll definitely want to, check out all the new restaurants and try the local cuisine over there. But sooner or later, we'll crave that rice. Where is my dal bhat? Okay, we'll be like that. So what do you recommend for them? Like, are there any like nice restaurants you have been to?
So I'm an Indian, right? I'm an Indian, and I would obviously, crave that Indian flavor.
Yeah, right.
So one really nice restaurant that I know of is called Soma. It's in the city center itself.
Okay.
And they serve some amazing food, mouth-watering food, and also it's also mouth-watering because you normally eat the different food.
Right.
When you eat your own home food, it is mouth-watering.
It's very comforting. Yeah.
And I also have a picture on my phone. In that restaurant, they have a menu which is written in Hindi.
Oh, okay.
So I clicked the selfie with that too.
That's something new in Perth, so you had to take a selfie.
Exactly. And
Okay.
a lot more restaurants are coming up. Yes.
Okay.
And
That's nice.
Since there are people from all sorts of nationalities, the food has to be there.
Right.
So then people eventually come up with their own businesses, and there are a few Nepalese restaurants as well in the city center.
Okay, that would be great. So anyone who craves the taste of home, they won't be, left craving for it.
Exactly. And on that note, something that I would like to add is that the biggest supermarkets that are Coles and Woolworths, they have aisles specifically for South Asian food.
Oh, okay.
Huge long aisles only for South Asian food. So students, the ones who know how to cook, and I am hoping all students know how to cook if you want to survive on your own. So
that's a must.
Exactly. Because you cannot keep buying outside food, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you have to cut on your expenses as well.
Right.
So
not good for your health.
Not good for your health. So you can just pick up stuff and then cook at home.
Right. Okay, so no issue with groceries.
Not at all.
All right, that's nice. Oh, you mentioned public services earlier, right? So we have like free transportation?
Most of it, yes.
Oh, okay. So do they need any what is it? Is a student ID enough for that, or do they need to go through any other process?
They have to get a transport card.
Okay.
So there is something called a CAT bus and transport bus.
Okay.
And transport trains. So the transport buses and transport trains are the ones that are paid.
Okay.
And they are all available on a 40% discount. The CAT buses, they don't need anything.
Oh, nice.
CAT is short for Central Area Transit.
Oh.
And they actually have
I just thought it's
they actually have a cat on that bus. They made a cat on that bus.
So very easy to identify as well for students?
Yes. So there's a red cat, blue cat, yellow cat.
Okay, so as soon as you spot a cat, just get on it.
Exactly. Just get on it and get off whenever you want. No ticket needed, no kind of...
Oh, that's great.
Nothing, no payment.
Yeah, so besides commuting to your classes, you can even go around the city, right?
Yes.
Okay. What should Nepalese students know about living in Perth in terms of lifestyle, cost of living, and transportation? Just a short summary of what we just talked about.
Transportation is really good, very well connected. So don't get worried if you miss one bus. You'll get the next one in 5 minutes.
Right.
And they're always on time.
Oh, that's great.
always on time.
We're not used to that in Kathmandu.
Neither me in Delhi. Not at all.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even sit on the buses.
Yeah.
In any public transport.
Exactly. Right.
Because, and when we go over there, when we're in Perth, we usually take the train or the bus because it's cheaper. Obviously, you can get it for free or you can get it on a discount.
Right.
Or, the other reason why we usually go for the public transport is that it is clean, in pristine conditions.
Wow, that's new.
Exactly. So all hygiene levels are maintained. Exactly.
Can't relate.
I know.
Okay.
In terms of food, amazing food available, and all groceries are also available, so students can very well fend off of themselves. In terms of the living expenses, all of these things eventually contribute towards a low cost of living.
Okay.
Right. So, of course, for your visa, you need to maintain a certain amount. But then when you're actually there, you might end up spending way less than that. And most of it depends on which city you are based in. Perth anyway is the cheapest, and also your own lifestyle.
Right. Plus, it's the safest, right?
It is the safest city.
Right. Okay, so overall, I don't see why students should not be applying to UWA and staying in Perth. So with that, we've come to the end of our interview session with Ms. Madan. Thank you so much for giving us your time, ma'am. And I'm sure you're...
for asking me such wonderful questions. I actually have never answered these questions before.
Oh, okay.
Nobody asks me all of this.
Oh, and thank you for such insightful answers. I'm very sure that it'll be very helpful for aspirants who are, aiming for UWA. And I truly feel like after hearing you, I feel that UWA, goes the extra mile to ensure that all the international students feel welcomed and supported. Yeah, you know where to apply. And thank you, ma'am. And we hope to see you soon at Study Square.
Thank you so much. And I hope I'll be back soon.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope you'll have more time to explore then.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.